Hey y'all, it's Zach. Happy Sunday to those that celebrate. We're also celebrating the Lord's Day with a wine-based sangria, Chianti if you will, based off of Silence of the Lambs. I'm going to show you how to make it. There's a lot of components to it, but first let's start with, um, I got like a bowl, just like this size. Put cherries, blueberries, a lot of cherries, frozen, strawberries, just any kind of berry, and let it thaw and mash it. And I put rum, Grand Marnier, and triple sec in there to get it nice and boozy as well. I also put about 2 cups of orange juice to get it a little fruity. So that's the first component. Second component, bottle of Chianti. Third component, fresh oranges or blood oranges, just cut into rounds, quarters, moons, whatever you want to do. So we're going to start with the oranges. Just start throwing those bitches down in there, squeeze them to release the juice, but you're going to mash them, so you're not really going to have to worry too much. It's like I'm murdering somebody. You're going to sort of just mash them to release the juices. Ideally, sangria is something, it's something, a good sangria should take a lot of time, because you really want it to sit and marinate, the flavors especially, but you also want to sit and let it get cool in the fridge so it's not just with. So I'm showing you how to make it from scratch, and I'm willing to drink nasty sangria for you, okay? Well, not nasty, just unmarinated. You're going to take the berries and such and all that jazz, and you're going to funnel them into here. It's going to be a little messy, that's okay, we can clean up later. It's going to be really messy, we can clean up later. Pinky promise I'll clean this shit up. God, it looks like a crime scene. Now you're just going to ladle some of the juice in there. And keep ladling. See, it's all mashy and pulpy. You got all that juice in there. You're going to want to strive for that. You're going to want it to be beat to shit. You're basically going to want it to look like special effects blood makeup. And there's still a little more I'm going to add later. I really don't want to bother you with 20 minutes of you watching me do this shit. So I'm just going to set that to the side. I'm going to wipe this up because it's bothering the ever-loving holy shit out of me. Then you're going to take the Chianti and you're just going to top off with that. Yeah. Perfect. You're going to want to serve this with sparkling water, soda water, La Croix, or Sprite. I personally prefer just straight up soda water. I don't like to get too fancy with it. Just, you don't want too much of a good thing, all that jazz. So here it is. Here's the recipe. I'm going to pause, take a sip of this because it's the holy day and I want to, have the sacrament and all that. But also because I want to take the time to do the drinking game portion by myself with like stuffed animals, like a stuffed precious animal. So hold on, okay? I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, hello there again. Here I am, alone in my room with a stuffed animal because I don't have any pets currently. They both passed away pretty recently, unfortunately. I'm a cat person. But you grab your sangria, put on a little fancy Buffalo Bill style robe kimono if you'd like to. I got this when I did a play where I played a raging homosexual. What a stretch. And just grab a stuffed animal or your dog or your cat and just get comfy because we're going to play this drinking game. Take a sip of that sangria. So good. And let's get started on this drinking game. That sounds husky. I sound like Kathleen Turner. Okay, we're starting. Finally. Take a drink. Every time Jodie Foster's West Virginia accent is just horrible and completely unrealistic. Take a drink whenever anybody's Southern accent is actually horrible and completely unrealistic. Especially the girl in the whale, Miss Catherine Martin. Honey, they should have hired a dialect coach for this movie. Okay, because we don't talk like that down here. We have sense. We don't all fuck our cousins. Some of us fuck our second cousins, okay? Damn. Anyways, I'm off on a tangent here. It's Tangent Sunday. I feel like I should take you to church. I'm also slightly buzzed off this sangria already. And my glaucoma medicine that I had this morning. Anyways, I need to get on this fucking game, Jesus Christ. Y'all want to hear me muddle on about being under the influence, or do you? Anyways, you're gonna take a sip whenever Miggs flings his cum in Clarice's face. That's just so nasty. You're gonna take a drink when Miggs says, I can smell your cunt, because that's just disgusting. You're gonna take a drink every time Lecter makes fun of Clarice's West Virginia accent. Which is a lot, because you roast that country cornbread bitch. I mean, who the fuck am I to talk? You're gonna take a drink when he makes fun of her shoes, because man, he read her on those shoes. Everything else was solid, but them shoes wouldn't. Clarice, honey, them shoes. Isn't there a gay somewhere in like Washington D.C. that you can hook up with? I mean, we all know Jodie Foster's a lesbian at this point, but you know, she wasn't out when she was filming that, you know. Come on now, sister. Find yourself a lavender person and get to it. Lavender man. I'm sorry. You know, I'm pretty sure she found other lavender people, if you get where I'm going with Sister Timbers and all that. Okay, take a drink every time Lecter gives her a clue. Take a drink whenever you hear Catherine Martin singing along horribly to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' American Girl. Although she really didn't sound that bad, because I work in bars and live entertainment music venues, and I've heard some of the fuckers butcher that song worse than she did. Honey. Just, if you don't know the chords, just don't. I'm going to just throw quotes out here. Liver, fava beans, Chianti, all that shit. You're going to take a drink. Another quote. Are you about a size 14? I love that scene. I'm going to roast Ted Levine right here so hard. I'm sorry, I have to. And I'm going on really long because I want this to be like, just like an ode to how unintentionally funny this movie is. You're gonna take a drink when they find the moth in the dead fat bitch's throat. You're gonna take a drink every time quid pro quo is said. You're gonna take a drink every time Lecter gives her a clue that she ends up, you know, being smart enough to figure out what's up. You're gonna finish your drink during the put the lotion in the basket scene. Because this is a good intermission, but you know, Ted Levine, the actor who plays him, and Brooke Smith, the actor who plays Catherine Martin, have both done so much over the years, but it doesn't matter what I see them in. I will always imagine Ted Levine in my head. Like, my first picture of him is, oh, is she a great big old fat person? And you know, with Brooke Smith, it's always, Mister, please let me out of here. I got your dog. Anyways, back on it. You're gonna take a drink whenever Hannibal eats the cop's face. You're gonna take a drink whenever someone says the word covet, because that word is thrown around a lot in this fucking movie. You're gonna take a drink whenever Clarice tells Lecter the story of her childhood and the lambs. Bah. Don't you ever notice that lambs sound like Stevie Nicks? Kind of, bah, just like a white-winged dove. Okay. You're gonna take a drink whenever you see him on the dolly with the infamous mask, you know? Take a drink on, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard. I'd fuck myself so hard. You know, his voice, it's like, if Richard Nixon was sucking a dick, is what his voice sounds like. Just, you know, it's just like, you can't enunciate, honey. I want to go to what acting school you did, because you're kind of famous because of this shit. Also, did you actually, if you're watching this, Ted Levine, did you tuck your dick in, or was that practical effects? I've got to know. Like, I'm about to, like, fucking Nancy Drew this shit and find out if it's, like, a practical, if he did it himself, if it was, like, a merkin, if, you know, it was, like, an actual dead bitch's vagina. Of course it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. Oh my God, Lord help me. Y'all are gonna love me or hate me for this. Please, love me. You're gonna love me. You're gonna take a drink when he... Take 4 drinks when he tucks his dick in. Take a drink whenever she finally realizes he's making a suit. He's making a suit out of women's skin. You're gonna take a drink whenever Catherine steals Precious, and she's got his dog, and she won't let it go. Bitch, that was smart though. That like leftover fucking TV dinner though. That was some genius shit. I mean, we country bitches are smart. You know, we may just not talk like it. So don't underestimate people from the South. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, back to it. You're gonna take a drink whenever Starling is at Buffalo Bill's house and she realizes that she's got the right guy. You're gonna take a drink when he says the infamous line, "Was she a great big old fat person?" And Jodie Foster's, yes sir, she was a big lady, sir. You're gonna take a drink when she finally shoots Buffalo Bill in the dark and he's almost touching her, and it's kind of beautiful, but it's really fucked up at the same time. And then you're gonna take a drink when he calls her at like the big inauguration, what the fuck it's called, whatever it is that people that like, graduate from the FBI do, you know, kill innocent people, whatever. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking. And then you're gonna drink a drink on the final line. I have to go, Clarice. I'm having an old friend for dinner. Can we just take a moment to like just appreciate Anthony Hopkins being the only saving grace in this shitty kind of dark comedy, unintentional dark comedy of a movie? Because I love Anthony Hopkins. He's wonderful. Wonderful, like, royal Shakespearean trained actor. You know, he's got, like, the career that I want. Distinguished. You know, he has a career. I want one. But also, he is wonderful to animals. He has cats. And me being a fellow cat lady, he plays piano with his cats on his Facebook page all the time. And it is just the best. Such a sweet man. He was knighted. You know, when they knight people in the United Kingdom, you gotta be pretty fucking important, or at least pretty goddamn talented to do it. So, you know, we should start knighting people in America. You know, look at us, honey. Anyways, I'm just off on a tangent here. I'm about to take this robe off because hurting my chest. I'm too big for this fucking thing. I hope you guys like this, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna post tomorrow because I don't fucking know what I'm gonna post tomorrow. I'm just watching a bunch of movies while I'm baked and seeing what happens. So far, I think I'm doing pretty good. I think the key is to just do it while you're fucked up.